Hello, everyone. I am Mr. Green. This is the Mr. Green Show, where we discuss family and finance. Of course, Mr. Green Show is brought to you by Mr. Green. If you are a real estate investor and you're looking to close on your property and you need property insurance, I'm the guy for you. Please reach out to me. You can call me at 410-346-9659. That's 410-346-9659, and my receptionist will help you schedule some time to meet with me. Or if you want to just reach out to me and talk about real estate, I'm available also. So let's get into today's topic. So this weekend, Elon Musk was on Saturday Night Live, and the whole anticipation for Elon Musk coming on Saturday Night Live was he had some announcements for Dogecoin. If you're not into financial media, Dogecoin is a cryptocurrency that has been discussed a lot, and especially because Elon Musk has been promoting it. If you don't know, Elon Musk is the owner of Tesla, and he has a large following of people. Like, a lot of people really love that Tesla brand. I'm one of them. I'm into the Tesla brand, and they follow Elon Musk, and because of that, and all that he's been, he's an innovator, and so he's he was on Saturday Night Live, and the anticipation was that the coin would explode with a meteoric rise because he had some announcements. Well, of course it didn't. It went the other way. It went down with a meteoric fall. But you know, and a lot of people will say, well, that's crazy, especially in financial media. They're making fun of it, like, you shouldn't invest it, you shouldn't have did it. I mean, I invested in Dogecoin, and I saw an opportunity to kind of get in, and I got in and I got out. But one thing that I decided to do, and that I do with these things is, before I begin, let me just say that my opinions are my own. I do not know your financial situation. I do not know your financial background or your financial tolerance. Please seek investment assistance for anything I mention on here. Anything I'm mentioning is something that I'm doing, and because I know my own situation, I do not know yours. You should not take any of this information as something that you should do in regards to your portfolio. So, but how I look at Dogecoin, I just really kind of got into cryptocurrencies. I know I'm late to the game, but I'm still learning. But what happens is, when you invest in something, rather it's, you put a small percentage, which I did. I would never promote to put all your money. I know there were some rumors out there about some people were paying off their mortgages. They create a story around these things, and then people get FOMO, like fear of missing out. Oh man, somebody was able to pay off their house with purchasing Dogecoin. I got to get into this. I got to get into this. And what happens is you get in on the tail end of it. But Dogecoin, I would say things like this. Hopefully you're a long-term investor, and maybe like 1% of your portfolio, maybe that you would invest in this Dogecoin. But what this Dogecoin allows you to do as an investor is to pay attention. Like, a lot of times, I mean, if you're not really into investing, investing in the stock market can be pretty mundane, right? Until you have stories like this. That's why the financial media will make a big deal out of this, because for the most part, financial markets are mundane. They pretty much are pretty steady, or especially right now, they've been going up, up, up. But every once in a while, you have a market breakdown, kind of what we had today, um, at the beginning of the week. But it's a long week and a long month, and I think the Nasdaq will recover. But getting back to the Dogecoin standpoint, is that this allows you to just pay attention, um, to get into financial media. I mean, there's so much media out here right now, but you want to get in media that's really going to assist you in meeting your financial goals. That's what we discuss on the Mr. Green Show, Family and Finance. We're trying to reach these financial goals for ourselves and for our families and for our kids and for our grandkids, being able to create these financial legacies for our family. But Dogecoin, if you've never really been in the financial media, and you really have to, it's an acquired taste, and I understand it. But it put some excitement around it. Elon Musk on Saturday Night Live brought some attention to it. And some of us, will say, well, that's bad attention, whatever. But if you've never really got into it, I would say it's almost good attention, because you start maybe looking at things differently. Maybe you find some other things. Well, though you're looking at Dogecoin here, but maybe you start looking at Apple. Like, what is Apple doing? Or what is Tesla doing, right? You start looking at some other stocks. You start building interest into the market. And that's what it's all about, having small interest, enough interest where we decide to put our monies away and not just be consumers and consume and let these companies take out. I mean, they don't take our money. They provide a great service, but we also want to invest with these companies, right? Because people are spending a lot of money there. And being on the other side of being an owner, when you own stock in these particular companies, you're an owner. And Dogecoin um, may have not, maybe not the perfect investment, but if it brought you some attention and brought you to maybe watching a little bit of financial media instead of online and watching other things, there's a lot of content out there these days. It's a lot of things to watch, but for you to maybe change your perspective and spend time, maybe a little bit more focus on your financial future. Savings tip: I'm in the field um, a lot. I often, you have to stop for lunch. What I decided to do, of course, and I've been doing this for a while, is I meal plan. For one, trying to lose some weight, but for two, it helps you save money. Definitely we want to. I still support the restaurants with COVID. I know it is definitely still tough, and has been tough, but also want to support my own pockets and my own investments, right? Because these dollars that I save are for my kids, and that's how I look at it. So the savings tip is, maybe you don't eat out every day. Maybe you say you have one lunch, or maybe you don't eat out during the weekend. You take one of those dinners and you put it away and you save it and invest it into a sound investment, um, such as a long term ETF, or some other investment that's sound. Seek your advisor for that information. I'm not your advisor. I do not know your financial situation. All right, let's get into real estate. Cash flow versus capital gain. What is cash flow? Cash flow is basically the financial blood. It's like financial blood running through your veins, your financial veins, right? It's basically the money that comes in, you pay your expenses, and hopefully your cash flow is positive and you have some money left over to spend and to invest in further endeavors, or to pay down debt, or to do what you want. That is cash flow. Capital gain is where you go in and you find an asset. We're talking about real estate. So maybe a discounted house because the house needs some repairs, new carpet, new paint, whatever the repairs are. But you go in and you add value to that property and you sell that value to somebody else. And with that selling that value, you get a capital gain. Which cash flow is usually a renter that's paying you rent every month. And after all your expenses, you hope your cash flow is positive and you're able to reinvest in your property, or you're able to reinvest into the stock market. All I believe is that, taking cash flow, put it into the stock market, taking some of the stock market capital gains, and then put it into my real estate. I like to have those two work together once again, but that's me. That's how I like to. But just looking at these two terms, and the reason why I'm discussing these terms is because I remember back in 2008, it was definitely a cash flow market, right? The values of the properties weren't tremendous it, like they are now. The values are running away. It's definitely harder to find a deal right now. Um, but in 2008, in 2009, that wasn't the case. Like, you could find properties and they were discounted enough where um, the mortgage which is usually the largest expense or one of the largest expenses to the property, was sufficient enough or small enough where the rents would overlap that and you would have money left over at the end of the month, right? But in today's market, cash flow is harder to find, and it's because the values of the property have gone up. So when the values of the properties go up, that means the cash flow kind of declines a little bit. So in this market, it's more of a value add, finding value and selling that value as a capital gain to someone else. That's where, and these markets change, right? These markets will change. And one day we will go back to having a cash flow market. And one thing they're talking about, and this is the reason why I like to really get into the stock market or equity markets as well as real estate, because they kind of really run against each other. Sometimes they run parallel, sometimes they run in opposite directions, but um, they were discussing inflation. Like inflation is really big right now. That's the reason why the the stock market is so up and down right now, because the inflation term, we don't know if the inflation is going to run away. I mean, inflation is crazy right now in regards to the prices of food, energy. They're discussing right now that gas prices are going to go up tremendously. Um, I think that they're definitely trying to get their money back that they lost, where a lot of people weren't driving and on the road. So they're going to find a way to raise gas prices, and gas prices will increase. I'm not saying some conspiracy or anything like that, but as prices increase, gas prices are one of those items that will increase. And what happens is when you have a lot of money, when a government spends money and puts a lot of money into the system, that basically works its way up, and prices start to increase because of that. So um, so because of inflation, the price of housing, um, and people having savings. I mean, savings once again had another record month of, I think the savings rate was like 13%. I mean, that's crazy compared to before the pandemic. But I think it's definitely a great opportunity for capital gains if you can find one of those properties and you can value add, do some paint. You will make a nice profit. But the properties are harder to find right now. So these are two words you should keep in your financial vocabulary: cash flow and capital gain. And they help you, knowing these words will help you determine what market you're in and what strategies you need to make to help you and your family meet your financial goals. All right, that's it for this week. Hey, I thank you for your time. Hopefully, this was beneficial. And I know it's a lot of things to watch, but I appreciate the few moments you got, and hopefully and please share this with a friend. If you have someone else and you find this information, please share it. I'm trying to grow my one viewers to two. So thank you again, everyone. Have a good one. Bye bye.